Hey, thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a detailed look at yet another cloudy, gray, rainy Colorado day for us here. And look at that forecast, which looks a lot drier than today, but I'm smiling because we certainly needed the rain. We're getting it. And by the way, in the mountains, we're getting some pretty hefty snowfall as well at this hour. That will continue for the remainder of your Wednesday. But today, the story in the Denver area, cool temperatures. We're stuck generally right around 40 degrees with a lot of those gray skies and that rainfall for us right now, especially in the west side of the Denver area. And then you look on up into the mountains, look at that snow, but thanks to that May sun angle. Of course, this time of year, the sun much higher in the sky, and that means that even though you can't see a whole lot of it because of those cloudy skies, that sun melts a lot of that snow on contact. It means the roads mainly wet, but we are certainly seeing some of that accumulating snow on grassy and colder surfaces like car tops, things like that. Winter Park, 11 inches worth of snowfall. How about that? An early May powder day. Doesn't quite have a ring to it, but kind of a classic Colorado thing, I guess. But meantime, I'm sure we are talking about, especially in the northern mountains, known as Berkeley Pass, Gold in Boulder County, Cameron Pass, 6 inches of snow, Eldora, 5.5 inches worth of snowfall. So again, northern mountains pretty favored from this one. I think Rocky Mountain National Park, 7-8 inches above 8,000 feet so far. And you even get up to around 7,000 feet and you're getting some snow in places like Evergreen, even in the Palmer Divide, probably a little bit of light snow at those highest elevations of the Palmer Divide as well. And this is the reason why. Look at those temperatures right now, 40s and 50s for us. Our average high this time of year, right around 70 degrees. We will not get anywhere close to that today, 30s and 40s on up into the mountains. This is kind of a early mid-March kind of temperature map for us that we're seeing in the first week of May. Nothing too unusual about that, but what is maybe a bit more on the unusual side is the fact that we're running about 20 degrees below normal for your day today, with a high right around 52. And you know what, I'm going to say this, I'm not sure we get there today with those clouds. It's going to be tough for us to probably crack 50 at this point, but we could see an isolated storm or two, especially east of town, but the story will be just kind of gray, plain old rain for us that continues for the remainder of your Wednesday. Could get a little break later on today, but we'll get a secondary surge of rainfall later on this afternoon. Meantime, as I mentioned, northern mountains doing pretty well from this, and we'll see some of that rain move its way into the picture, continue to stay with us here along the Front Range throughout the remainder of your Wednesday. Look off to our north and west, though, and we do have some drier air trying to work its way on in, and it's already in place, a place like Idaho as well as into Utah, and then will move its way into our picture later on overnight and into early tomorrow. All right, so Futurecast. I think we get a little break early this afternoon. I think we may see maybe a brief period of rain-free conditions if you want to get out and walk the dog. I know my dog is miserable in the rain. My dog has been, according to my fiance, has been stuck inside because she does not want to go outside in this rain. So maybe your dog's like that and does not want to go out in the rain. If you're looking for a little bit of a break, I think maybe between about 1 and 3, we get a little bit of a breather in that rainfall here along the Front Range. But then after dark tonight, I think we'll get another push of moisture coming on in from the north and west, and that means it looks like a pretty rainy Wednesday night for much of us along the Front Range. And then you get up in elevation, Woodland Park, Evergreen, again, 7,000 feet or above. That's where you're going to be looking at some of that accumulating snow for us this afternoon and this evening. And by tomorrow morning, this pulls on out of here. A few leftover rain showers for our friends in the southeastern plains. We certainly need every drop we can get here. And then by tomorrow midday or so, statewide, we are done with the rain and the snow by midday tomorrow. All right, let's walk things through the metro area, the immediate metro area over the course of the next couple of hours. And Denver, again, we get that little bit of a break early to mid-afternoon. And then by about rush hour, maybe a little after that, we get another push of rain coming on in from the north and west. Wouldn't be stunned if we get a rumble of thunder or two, just enough instability that I think we could get a rumble of thunder or two this evening. And just like last night, probably the best chance for some of that heavier rainfall, maybe that rumble of thunder or two will be to our north, up by Loveland, Greeley, so Weld, Larimer counties, maybe even northern Boulder County, the best chance at seeing that heavier rainfall and that steadier rainfall And by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, we should be done with the rainfall. Certainly cloudy skies still in play. And then those skies brighten on up as we head through Thursday here along the Front Range. So showers around for us this evening. Probably the best chance will be before midnight for that rain here along the Front Range. After midnight, we gradually dry things on up. Sunset, by the way, 7:56 coming up on Saturday. Our first 8 p.m. sunset of the year. So there's something to look forward to. We'll have 8 p.m. sunsets through August. So again, if you like those late summer evenings, we're getting closer and closer to those. Meantime, low temperatures tonight, 30s and 40s Eastern Plains, 30s for us on up into the mountains. So clouds will kind of keep in some of that heat, quote unquote, that we build up during the day. So our low temperature tonight might be actually warmer than it is right now. But if you're looking for warmer temperatures, tomorrow we get them. We'll have some early clouds. I think it will be mainly cloudy until about 9, 10 o'clock or so tomorrow morning. Probably some patchy fog tomorrow as well, with some of that evaporating rainfall. And then by 11, 12 o'clock, oh boy, it's going to get beautiful very quickly tomorrow. So beautiful Thursday on tap. High temperatures right around 70 degrees. Going to kind of remind you of Southern California with a lot of sunshine, highs around 70 tomorrow here in Denver along the Front Range. Light northerly winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour, so it is substantially warmer today. By the way, going back to Monday, has not hit 60 degrees yet this week. We've been stuck in the 50s all week long here, 40s or 50s all week long here along the Front Range, but tomorrow finally feeling a bit more like the first week of May. So those Cinco de Mayo plans, let's actually go back to this here for just a second, since of course tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo. I'm sure a lot of you will be maybe looking to have a fruity beverage of sorts outdoors around 5, 6 o'clock. And if you're looking to do that outside, it looks absolutely perfect for that. So you got some of those evening happy hour plans. It looks great tomorrow. So once again, highs around 70, morning clouds, but then those brighten on up. So don't be misled tomorrow by the fact that the morning will look a little gray, a little foggy, a little dreary. It will brighten on up as we head through your Thursday. And 7-day forecast, we get those temperatures on up to around 80 for your Friday. So maybe some of those later Cinco de Mayo celebrations look great for your Friday and your Saturday. Thing to watch for Friday and Saturday, though, is I'm a little worried about some increased fire danger, some breezy conditions both Friday and Saturday. Early next week looks a bit troublesome in terms of fire danger because we've got a similar setup to what we had about 2 weeks ago, when we had that string of storms pass off to our north, which led us to a lot of wind and dry conditions. Yeah, that setup looks likely early next week. So just a bit of a heads up. I'm a little concerned about Monday, Tuesday next week about some pretty high fire danger here along the Front Range and throughout eastern Colorado. Hopefully we get some storms in here on your Sunday and maybe a few more showers for next Tuesday. But one thing that's not in the forecast is snow. We are likely here in Denver along the Front Range. I'm saying this here, folks, because, again, going back to that 7-day forecast, we have no snow in the forecast. And that means that's pretty likely at this point that we've seen our final snow of the season. It's pretty hard to get snow past Mother's Day. And, of course, coming up here on Sunday is Mother's Day. And once we get to about Mother's Day, it happens. We're not, by any stretch of the imagination, guaranteeing we're done with snow. Our latest, by the way, measurable snowfall on record in Denver, June the 10th. So it can snow as late as 5-6 weeks out, but it's just very tough to get snow after mid-May. And with no snow in the forecast here over the next 7 days, there's a pretty good chance we're done with the snow season here in Denver. And that means that we would have by far our shortest snow season on record. You might remember that December the 10th was our first measurable snowfall date. That made it by far our latest first measurable snowfall of the season. And then now going to March the 17th, that would be our second earliest, last measurable snow of the season. So long story short, a 97-day snow season in Denver is basically unheard of. Our record right now is about 113 days. So this would be more than 2 weeks shorter in terms of our snow season right now. So long story short, I do think we're probably done with snow here along the Front Range. Also, tomorrow is our last, on average, last 32 degree or lower temperature of the season. So there's a chance. I wouldn't go ahead and plant those gardens quite yet, especially early next week. there's just enough cold air around that we could potentially drop down to the low to mid 30s tomorrow. So I wouldn't quite plant those kind of sensitive plants yet, but there's an increasing chance that we've seen our last frost and that we've seen our last snow of the season here in Denver along the Front Range. So that's, I guess, the story. The good news is we are getting some beneficial rain today. We've picked up, generally speaking, about 1/10, 2/10 of an inch of rain here along and west of I-25. East of I-25, we haven't seen a whole lot yet, but we'll get some more rain here later on today. So today, gray, cool, more rain, especially after dark. Then tomorrow, morning clouds drawing on up, and then beautiful weather Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then watching for some increased fire danger early next week. And yes, we're probably done with the snow and those 32-degree temperatures here in Denver for the season, although the mountains, obviously a very different story. Meteorologist Danielle Grant has more coming up at 9 News at noon, and Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin in at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 on the 9 News family of networks. Meantime, I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and have a great rest of your rainy Wednesday.